Click the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to never miss another update.
It was around sunset that people left the bodies of their dead in the city square on the ground. The women and children were crying, their mothers grumbled and their fathers sympathized with them. Abu Sufyan came along with some of his men riding a camel shouting, "I am the leader of Bani Umayyah. Do not let the women cry for the martyrs of Badr. It is true that we were defeated in Badr's war, but we will win another war. If women are crying today, their hatred will disappear for Muhammad and his companions. Tears will only invite sadness and grief. Instead of crying, everyone should think of revenge." From day to day, from morning till night, the cry of revenge was heard everywhere in the city. In the third year of Hijrah, Abu Sufyan left Mecca with 3,000 warriors. The army galloped to Medina with all its facilities. Abu Sufyan ordered the fighters, women and their idols to be brought along. Abbas, the uncle of the Prophet, saw the army of Quraysh. He immediately wrote a letter and handed it to a messenger to deliver it to Prophet Muhammad. Abbas, the messenger, quickly galloped to Medina. The courier handed the letter to the Prophet. The Prophet kept the subject secret between himself and several close companions. Only 2 inspectors were sent to Mecca to report on the army of Quraysh. When the inspectors returned, the Prophet reported that the army of Quraysh was very powerful and had full equipment. The Prophet composed a meeting and informed many of his people. The Prophet discussed the subject of defense with them. There was a lot of talk and everyone gave a comment. The argument was whether to stay in Medina and fight the enemy or leave Medina and confront Quraysh outside the city. One of the companions of the Prophet, who was a sharp man, said, "O Prophet, Medina's alleys are tight. When the enemy enters the city, everyone can participate in the war, even women and old men. They can surprise enemies from the roofs and through the windows." The Prophet liked this idea, but many young people and warriors opposed this idea and said, "No, we will fight on the battlefield like champions. If we win, great, and if we are killed, we are martyred in the cause of God." Eventually, they decided to fight outside Medina. For this reason, the Prophet himself went outside Medina to select a place for the camp. The Prophet chose a good place, then went to Mount Uhud with his army. The Prophet ordered Abdullah bin Jabir with 50 people to stand guard at the crater of Mount Uhud. He said to them, "The skilled shooters will not leave this place in any circumstances. If you are even chased by the enemy to the city of Medina or have defeated the enemy and we retreat to Medina, do not leave." On the part of Abu Sufyan, Khalid bin Walid was assigned with 200 warrior soldiers to watch that valley and those 50 people. Abu Sufyan told them, "As soon as Muhammad's troops leave their stronghold, attack the battalion of Muhammad." The sequel to the war began. 2 armies were placed opposite. Abu Sufyan announced the attack in the name of the idols they worshipped. The army of Quraysh dispensed their mechanisms on the believers. They pushed forward and encouraged each other as the war broke out. The army of the Prophet attacked so relentlessly that the armies of Abu Sufyan were forced to melt and flee. Khalid bin Walid called on his men to attack them, but the shooters forced them to retreat. Khalid bin Walid guided his men to the back of the mountain. At this time, one of the shooters shouted, "We have won! The enemy is defeated! Let's go all together and collect booty!" Abdullah bin Jabir shouted, "No! Do not leave your positions! The Prophet has commanded us not to leave this valley until the end of the war!" But most of the shooters laughed at him. "What do you mean? The army of Abu Sufyan failed. If we go too late, the booty of war will not come to us, and all the spoils will be taken by others." They quickly left the mountain. Khalid bin Walid and his men saw the shooters clearing the valley. They came out of the hill and quickly attacked. Abdullah bin Jabir fought Khalid bin Walid with some of the soldiers who had not left their position, but failed, and Abdullah bin Jabir and his men were killed. Then they attacked the battalion of Prophet Muhammad. Suddenly, the people of the Prophet saw themselves under attack, and the order and coordination of the Muslim forces were eliminated. The army escaped. Abu Sufyan, who realized that the Muslims were surprised by the attack, returned and attacked them with all their might. When they arrived, they encircled them. They inflicted devastating blows on the Islamic army. Suddenly, Hamza, the uncle of the Prophet, was martyred by the poison of a slave commissioned to kill him, which deflated the spirits of the Muslims. Ali ibn Abi Talib fought bravely and protected the Prophet. In the havoc of war, suddenly the sword of Imam Ali failed, and Prophet Muhammad quickly gave him his sword, Zulfiqar. Imam Ali, more powerful than before, fought. A little later, Imam Ali fought so much that the enemy had to attack him from the left and the right, surrounding him completely, but they were still defeated by him. Suddenly, one of the people of Abu Sufyan came out of the crowd and ran a rumor. As he swung his sword in the air, he struck one of the Muslims on the head and shouted, "I killed Muhammad! I killed Muhammad!" With this news, the infidels rejoiced and the Muslims were sad. The soldiers and the Prophet's people were afraid and they lost their morale and fled the fight. The people of Quraysh cheered and returned to Mecca. Many soldiers wanted to leave, but with the departure of Quraysh, several of the companions of the Prophet brought him to the top of the mountain and showed everyone that the Prophet was alive. The Muslims were happy, and the ones who had fled the valley of Uhud apologized to the Prophet for helping the enemies win. By the help of Allah, the fight of Imam Ali and his 8 companions contained the enemy and expelled the potential danger of the infidels conquering Medina.